Hey, what is up, guys? Wrestling Reviews 94 back again with another video, and this video will be sponsored by WWEDVDnews.com. For all your latest and greatest DVD news and reviews, go check out WWEDVDnews.com. Link is in the description box. So, anyway, this is going to be a rare DVD review. I haven't been doing a lot of DVD reviews as of late, but I decided to pick a random DVD out of my collection, and today I will be reviewing this DVD right here, Rey Mysterio 619. You see the back there. Just give you a synopsis of the documentary and the matches that are included. Open it up. I'm not sure if it came with, if it usually comes with an insert, but mine didn't. But I got it off Amazon, so he probably just didn't include one. And then you have the disc. I really thought that for a one-disc DVD, I mean, you never see one-disc DVDs anymore from WWE. It's very rare to see one released. But for a one-disc DVD, this was really, really good. The documentary, I'm just going to run through what happens in the documentary. We start off with the match between Rey Mysterio and Albert, highlights of it, and we see Albert beating up on Rey Mysterio, and during this match, after the match, I think, when he puts him in kind of like a tree of woe kind of thing, Rey tears something in his knee, and it requires knee surgery. So he's basically just talking about this match and how much pain he was in. The thing that I didn't like about this documentary was that throughout the whole thing, Rey's face was covered. It was blurred out, so you couldn't see his face. And, you know, Rey would actually try to avoid looking at the camera as much as he could so he didn't have to blur it out. But, I mean, it was just so stupid because, you know, we have the internet. We can just look it up on Google, Rey Mysterio unmasked, and see what he really looks like. So I thought that was a huge dislike for the documentary, but he talks about his uncle, Rey Mysterio Sr., and how he brought him into the business, because basically Rey Mysterio was brought into the business very early because of his uncle. The uncle was very famous in Mexico. So he basically talks about getting into the business and his uncle, Rey Mysterio Sr., and how he allowed Rey Mysterio to drop the Junior like he had in WCW once Rey became a huge star. Then we travel into Mexico, and we go to Rey's hometown. He meets up with some friends. He brings us to the arena where he had his first match, where he trained. He also, takes us to a little Mexican restaurant and shows us some delicacies of Mexico. So I was actually very interested in that segment, the whole bringing into Mexico and talking growing up in Mexico, and yeah, I mean, very impressed by that. Then he starts talking more and more about his wrestling part, because most of this documentary is wrestling, but there are some scenes where he's like traveling somewhere, or we're going into his house. He talks about Conan and how he actually scouted Rey Mysterio and told WCW about him. And after, I think Conan gave him a tape or something like that, and WCW actually signed Rey Mysterio because of Conan. So he credits Conan for bringing him into WCW. You have a lot of wrestlers talking about Rey Mysterio in here: Kurt Angle, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and when the segment with Malenko came in, where they talk about all their matches together and how his first match was with Dean Malenko for the Cruiserweight Championship, I believe. You know, he was getting the cold shoulder in the locker room, and he goes out there, puts on a great match with Malenko, and when he comes through the curtain, the guys are giving him like a standing ovation. So yeah, so they just run through their feud, and then we move on to a big scene where Rey Mysterio is talking about Halloween Havoc and his match with Eddie Guerrero. Basically, this was supposedly a great match. It was actually voted on by WCW Magazine voters to be the best match of, I want to say, 1993 or 1990. No, not 1993. Probably like 96 or 97. I'm not really sure. So he talks about that and how much respect he has for Eddie. Then he goes into the WWE portion of this documentary, talks about how he was scared when WWF was bought WCW, and he didn't have a job, so he would work indies just to stay fresh, and then he would debut against, who was it? Chavo Guerrero. So yeah, he just talks about how he signed a contract with the WWE. And then we go into Rey Mysterio's house. It's like a cribs tour. He just shows basically everything, all the living room, the bathrooms, the bedrooms, all that good stuff. He shows us his wrestling room with all his accomplishments there. Then we go into a scene where talks about his feud with Angle, and Angle's just putting this guy over. He called him a great worker. Talks about their SummerSlam 2002 match and how they felt as if it was the best match on the pay-per-view. I disagree, but it was a very good match. Definitely check it out if you can. Tag team with Edge. Just talks about how Rey and Edge won the tag team belts from, I believe, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. And the whole tournament that took place to win the belts. Goes into a tattoo parlor in San Diego, and he's getting the 619 tattooed on his arm, so we get to see that. His return after his knee surgery finally heals up, returns, gets his revenge on Albert, and basically it ends with him feuding for the Cruiserweight Championship. But definitely a good documentary. Now the matches, 10 matches on one disc plus the documentary. That is very impressive from WWE. The matches for the most part were pretty good. The best match I think was the Rey Mysterio and Psicosis match on here. Definitely one of the best Rey Mysterio matches in WCW that I've seen. A series of matches with Dean Malenko. You have a series of matches with Kurt Angle. But the matches on here were pretty good. You also get a rare AAA match from 1993, I believe. You also get Rey's WCW debut match, and you also get Rey's WWE debut match. So the matches itself were pretty good. So let's get down to likes, dislikes. Likes is the documentary. I thought it was very laid out. It was laid out well. Goes through all the major feuds that Rey Mysterio had up until the knee surgery. And the quantity of the matches. I mean, how WWE put 10 matches on here with the documentary, that is very impressive. I mean, you don't really see that anymore. I thought that was pretty cool. But the only dislike is, during the documentary, like I said, Rey's face was blurred out throughout the whole documentary. So it was kind of like, it was annoying. That's really the only dislike I have against this DVD. Do I recommend it? I do. But overall, this DVD is getting a 7.5 out of 10 for a one disc. That's pretty damn good. But thanks for watching, guys. So definitely, if you go on Amazon, it is really dirt cheap on there. So I definitely recommend you pick this up. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys later.